Hey everybody, this is Dave here at Pulp Alley, and today I'm going to invite you to watch a great old serial with me, episode number 1, 2, 3, and 4 of The Great Alaskan Mystery. This is possibly one of my old favorites here. It's a Universal serial. It's from 1944, and one of the great things about it is that it stars Milburn Stone. Legendary actor who goes on, now this is 1944, by what was it, 1955? I think he gets the role of Doc Adams in the Gunsmoke TV show, and then he ends up playing that role for 600 plus episodes. Absolutely amazing, legendary career. This is Milburn Stone in his younger days. Of course, he was, what was he? He was 40 years old when he did this serial here. So still a little bit of the dashing hero, but you can also feel something of a little bit of a hard edge to his acting. Just like when he goes over and ends up playing Doc Adams in another 11 years or so. So very, very cool. The other great thing about this serial for me is Edgar Kennedy is in this one. Another one of my favorite comedic actors, and he brings a little bit of levity. Now you got Fuzzy Knight in here as well, but for me it's Edgar Kennedy that really brings a little bit of a chuckle once in a while. So just the right mix there. And this is a fun cereal because it's got one of those, you know, the perfect recipe, I think, for a cereal. You have the hero, you got the villain, you have the mad scientist, not really a mad scientist, but you have the scientist, you have the secret death ray machine that the evil enemy agents are going after. So very, very cool little recipe of all the different things that are in this. And it takes part in, of course, Alaska. One of the fun things, and definitely watch in episode 1, it is really cool because a lot of the footage that you're going to see was shot about 11 years earlier in 1933 for a movie called SOS Iceberg. And a lot of that footage, I believe, was shot in Greenland and Switzerland by Universal's German crew at the time. So they did a great job of dressing up the 1944 cast to fit and to mesh really nicely with that footage that was shot 11 years earlier in an entirely different part of the world. Very, very cool. So I think if you enjoy this one, we're gonna try and play the next episode 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 maybe in the next week. So be sure and click that like and share and subscribe button for us. And if you're already subscribed to our channel, make sure you click that bell so you'll be notified when we upload a new video. And let's get to it. Enough blathering. Let's watch together The Great Alaskan Mystery. Thank you guys for watching.
the idea. If you can't climb a plane straight up, she'll conk out every time.
I know, Bob. I just thought I'd try a whipstall.
Well, you stick to straight flying, Miss Miller, till you've had more hours. You know, I have a good mind not to send your papers through for your license.
But I pulled out of the spin, didn't I? I did remember everything you told me.
Well, sure, but you barely made it.
Oh, Bob, I've got to have that license today. I've just got to.
Oh, I see. You've already told your father, now you must make good.
Well, that's one reason. Bob, do I get the license?
Oh, we'll see.
How far away shall I hold the receiver, Dr. Miller?
Halfway across the room, Dr. House. We'll shorten the distance and hope for better results.
Dad!
What is it, my dear?
I made it!
Made it? Made what?
My pilot's license, don't you remember? I wanted to have it today to surprise Jim.
Of course. I'd forgotten. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm the one who should be sorry. I came bursting in on something important, didn't I?
Oh, that's all right.
You and Dr. House go right ahead, Dad. Mind if I watch until Jim comes?
Certainly not, my dear. Certainly not.
That must be Jim. Turn it off, Dad. Jim!
Oh, Ruth.
Daddy's here.
Well, how are you, my lad?
Fine, sir.
I thought you were in uniform.
Well, I was. I have a medical discharge.
Medical discharge.
Father, don't you remember? I told you Jim was wounded at Guadalcanal flying for the Marines and cited for bravery, too.
Of course.
Oh, I beg your pardon, Doctor. This is Jim Hudson. Jim, Dr. House, Dad's assistant.
Hello. How do you do? Jim is the son of one of my best friends, old Roaring Bill Hudson, owner of the famous gun sight mine in Alaska.
Well, what are you working on, sir?
We're attempting to transmit physical substance by light wave. We almost have it, but so far we've been unable to hit upon an element strong enough or powerful enough to counteract the pull of gravity.
Well, that's amazing.
And I call it the peritron.
Well, would you mind very much, sir, if I stayed and watched you work?
Not at all. You and Ruth stand over there.
Well, thank you, sir.
Same. The energy isn't strong enough. We almost have it, and then it slips from our grasp.
Could only find the proper element, the proper atomic combination.
I've tried everything. I don't know where to go from here.
Well, could it be possible, Doctor, that the substance you're looking for is in mineral form?
Naturally. Radium is mineral, and that has energy. But not the particular type I need.
Well, that's what I meant.
What, radium?
No, not exactly. It's something Pop wrote me about when I was on Guadalcanal. Now, he hasn't told anyone else about it because he thinks he's got a great discovery.
Well, what is it?
Well, I can only tell you that... You remember old Grit Pop's foreman?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was digging in number 3 shaft one day last spring, and he came across this mysterious substance, whatever it is, and he hit it with his pick, and it knocked him down.
Astounding. Could you arrange to have a sample sent to us? It may be just what we need.
Well, it sounds like it'd be a little too dangerous for shipment.
Why don't you go north with Jim, Dad? Even though there's nothing to it. You'll have a nice vacation. You need a rest.
Well, how about that, Doctor?
Well, if the story is true, I feel it's our duty. Do you have a place where we could work?
Well, yes, you remember Pop's lab. It's about as big as this.
Oh, excellent.
When can we start? I won't rest until I can find out what this is all about.
Well, transportation's the big problem. How much of this equipment do you have to take?
All this apparatus is necessary.
If I may offer a suggestion, there's a steamship leaving from here in 2 days. And the captain is a very good friend of mine.
Well, then that's fine. You arrange the transportation, and I'll help Dr. Miller get things together.
Just got word from headquarters. We're going through with everything the way I wanted it.
But I've told you the real secret of the invention is only known to Miller.
Coach, you said you could figure this peritron out. If you could take it apart and examine it.
Yes, I'm sure I could.
Why don't we sail?
I don't know. Must be waiting on somebody.
I'll give them guys 5 more minutes, Bosun. If they ain't here, then we'll sound.
Aye, sir.
Hi, Doc. Sorry to have missed you yesterday, but I was busy ashore.
Captain Greeder, I would like you to meet Dr. Miller
How do you do, sir?
and Mr. Hudson.
Oh.
Oh, here they are, sir.
Cast off this gangplank. We're shoving off.
We better check with the purser and see where our cabin is.
Yeah. Any sign of that fog lifting?
No, Captain. I think we ought to lay to until it does. This is the season for icebergs.
No. We're too far south for bergs. Keep her steady as she goes.
Aye, aye.
What's the matter? You nervous, Dr. House?
Those 2 men who came aboard. I wonder who they are.
They really keep to themselves, don't they? Only time they come out of that cabin's to walk the dog. You worried about them?
In times like these, the important nature of our work, I'm suspicious of everyone. I think I'll take a walk on deck.
He's really jumpy, isn't he?
Is he? I haven't noticed.
How well do you know Dr. House?
He was well recommended.
Well, are you sure of it?
One is never sure of anything, least of all of men. But don't worry. The real secret of the peritron is known only to me.
You're not as absent-minded as you seem to be, are you, Doc?
Leave them aboard. There's no telling who or what they might be. If Miller and Hudson were murdered crudely.
What do you mean, crudely? Ain't you ever heard of an accident?
When will this accident happen?
As soon as we get further north out of the sea lanes. You happy now?
Scientists, Captain, is seldom happy. Oh, Captain, I advise you to check on those 2 men and find out who they are.
As far as I know, they're just 2 guys named Gray and Dunn.
Are you sure the American secret agents are not catching up with you? You know, this ship has a bad reputation ever since those 2 miners disappeared overboard last month.
I'll keep an eye on them. See what you can find out, too.
And we've been passing ice floes all evening, Captain. And that means icebergs.
All right. Lay to until morning.
Aye, aye, sir.
Carrier pigeons. They won't hurt you.
I thought it was strange the captain has carrier pigeons on board and is keeping it a secret. I don't know. Carrier pigeons are a respectable hobby. Maybe so, but we were wondering why Greeder doesn't send his messages by radio. Probably part of his hobby. Does seem kind of strange, though, doesn't it?
I don't understand it.
Well, I wouldn't give it a thought. Well, gentlemen, I'm tired. I think I'll take a little walk around the deck and then go to bed.
Well, I thought you'd like to know. Yeah, well, thanks, Dunn.
Dunn discovered the pigeons. He saw you send a message. I'm sure now that he is an American agent.
You go back to your cabin. I'll handle this. Hiya, Dunn.
Howdy, Captain.
I'd like to have a little talk with you, if you don't mind.
Sure.
All right, Dunn. We're alone back here. Speak right up and tell me what you're doing on board my ship.
I'm going up north. Anything wrong with that?
Ever since you came on board, you've been snooping around.
You got something to hide, Captain? Like maybe carrier pigeons?
Listen, you. Tell me who you are, or...
What?
Signal the engine room. We're proceeding at 5 knots, bosun.
Captain, you can't move with them icebergs out there.
I'm giving the orders here.
I've looked everywhere for Dunn. I tell you, there's something wrong with this boat. Oh, sit down. Take it easy. He'll show up.
Oh, he's most likely with the captain.
No, I was on the bridge. The bosun says there's no one with the captain.
Perhaps the captain had better be told. Perhaps we should see him this minute. The ship must be searched from top to bottom.
Thanks.
Oh, they're moving again.
I tell you, whoever's running this boat is crazy.
What happened to Dunn?
I heaved him over the side.
Miller and Hudson already suspect something. When they miss Dunn, they'll call for an investigation.
What's the difference? It means we've got to work right now.
Now?
Go below and send Miller, Gray, and Hudson up to me.
Oh, not that way.
You know a better way?
Yes. When this is dissolved in water, it releases a deadly gas.
Won't they see it?
No. It's colorless and odorless. Now, if you could manage to lock them up in here.
Leave that to me. Send them up.
I wouldn't be too hasty in accusing the captain. Mr. Gray's a friend of Dr. House, you know.
The captain would like to see you, gentlemen. Naturally, he's very much concerned.
You'll get some action.
Does he want me to?
Yes, Doctor. A matter of routine, I believe.
So, in view of the fact that there's a passenger missing from my ship, I'm going to hold you free until I get to the bottom of this.
Clever, aren't you, Captain? We don't know anything about it.
Well, it's all ridiculous.
Gentlemen, make yourselves comfortable until I get back.
We're locked in. What is this, a frame-up?
Got the Paratron?
Yes. I also found his notes. Perhaps the secret of the Paratron is among them.
Iceberg! Dead ahead! Reverse engines! We're going to crash! Let's get out of here!
We struck an iceberg. Can't last 15 minutes. Get the Paratron on those notes and come back here and wait. I'll lower a lifeboat. If your gas didn't finish off Dr. Miller and his meddlesome friend Hudson, that crash sure did.
There's always a chance that they're still alive, Grader.
When that tub fills with water, she'll slide off the ice and there'll be nothing left but a memory.
What direction is land?
Due east. Row, men.
Are you all right, Dr. Miller?
Yes, fine. Look after Gray.
Hey, can you get out of there, fella? Yeah. Ahoy there! I never expected to see you fellas again. Well, what happened? We had an iceberg. Where's your captain? He got off with part of the crew in the only boat that wasn't stove in. He tried to kill us. Well, that's right in his line. Well, come on, let's get out of here. This tub won't float forever. Give me a hand here, bosun. What's this? Shortwave radio. We may need it. Come on.
Looks like this is it, gentlemen.
Oh, no. We're not dead yet. This is a pretty big bird we hit. We can float around on here for days. Now you're talking. Let's go. Now, wait a minute. Better round up all the food and equipment we can carry.
She's starting to slide off the ice.
Go search the galley for food. See what you can find.
I have some fur clothing and Arctic gear in my cabin.
Go get it. We better see what's left in our cabin.
My furniture and my notes.
Nothing could be alive in there.
Poor Dr. House. He was a fine scientist.
Looks like the finish of the Paratron, too.
Yes, I'll have to start all over again.
Sorry, Doc.
Good thing I'm just a tenderfoot businessman. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been sucker enough to buy all this equipment.
We haven't got time to put those furs on now, Gray. Here's the grub. Good, heave it over. Doctor, will you take care of the radio? Yes, sir. Let's get this going. Look, get a hold of that. All right, over the side.
No
Nobody's ever flown beyond this point.
Well, I'll take that chance. Some of them may be marooned on icebergs. My father, perhaps.
Looks like all we can do is try to make shore on one of these floes, or the ice will melt from under us. We haven't got a chance without a boat. Well, we got to try. We can't stay here. This floe is about ready to crack to pieces. We'll never make it. We'd better make it. Look, we head for that big iceberg right over there.
Here, boy. Here.
Harvey's done for. The bear's got his scent. No, he's not a goner yet. Give me that ski. Here.
Here, boy.
Looks like a village, all right. Probably Eskimos.
So we are safe at last?
Pretty close, anyway. All right, men. Start rowing.
Like the most sheltered spot on the berg. Let's make camp here. I wish I'd gone down with the ship. It would have been quicker that way. Bug up, Gray. As long as we got that radio, we got a good chance. Let's unload.
Mr. Chief, this old lover could only speak English, we'd sure be in luck.
They speak 'em. You bet.
That's fine. Look, Chief, let's get right down to cases. You know a town called Bankhead?
You bet. Him way far away. Over big snow, big ice, big long time get there.
Oh, that's fine. You give us sled, dogs, and men?
Plenty sled, plenty dogs, you bet. No man.
Do you think we could do it without guides, Captain?
Looks like we'll have to. We'll navigate by compass. Let's have 'em.
Him cost.
Oh, yeah.
Him cost pretty big, you bet.
Well, come on, men. Dig up.
Shut that thing off. It's been going on for 3 days. I tell you, I can't stand it.
I know it's tough, Gray, but as long as these batteries last, it's our only hope.
It's better than listening to the silence.
It's the only way. We're drifting steadily out to the open sea. Reaching shore is no longer possible.
Breaking up. That means the thaw is here. From now on, it's going to melt pretty fast. You mean this iceberg, too?
Sooner or later, it'll melt and turn over.
Food.
Gray is gone.
Well, we better find him. Don't tell him what he'll do.
Jim? It's too late.
Don't land. Go for help. Don't land. Go for help. It's Ruth. Ruth.
Ruth, this is Jim. Listen. Don't try to land. Do not try to land. Try to find that Eskimo village. Try northeast along the base of that big ridge. Got it?
I understand.
Be careful now.
I hope your daughter finds that Eskimo village.
Well, if there's one there, she'll find it.
We're turning over.
Another piece like that breaks off, we're gunners.
Oh, I hope those Eskimos have speedboats.
You chief? Out there, men on Iceberg.
Men on Iceberg, you bet.
Oh, you understand? Yes, my father. 2 other men. Could you send someone else to get them off?
You bet. Plenty cost, lady.
Oh, we'll pay anything, but hurry.
Where on Iceberg, white man?
I'll fly over in my plane and show the way.
This is it. She's cracking up. like that breaks off, we're gunners.
Oh, I hope those Eskimos have speedboats.
This is it. She's cracking up. Eskimos are picking up the others.
Where's my father?
I put him in a kayak.
Oh.
Head for the village.
To their deaths, and you feel nothing.
How about the briefcase with those notes?
It's gone.
You think you can figure out the Paracon without them?
I don't know. Perhaps.
Well, anyway, we can't cross the glacier without dog and sled. We'd better go back to the Eskimo village. So there we were, marooned in the iceberg, till you came along with the Eskimos. Just in time, too.
Just like an angel of mercy.
You know what I can't figure out is what was going on board that boat. What happened to Dunn and why? Why was that poison gas loose in the cabin?
You get out of those wet things and get some sleep before you take pneumonia.
Don't worry about me. I used to go swimming with icebergs every morning before reveille.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. Nothing ever happens to him. Hey, what's on here?
Oh. Is he all right?
Yeah, just plumb exhausted. Needs some sleep.
Well, see to it that you get some yourself.
Yes, miss.
I'll go check on Dad again.
Yes, miss.
You walk long time, come back same place.
That's sort of God, Chief. We're starting out again in the morning with a new outfit. All we want now is some grub and a place to sleep.
More white man come. You go see.
Look, all we want... What did you say?
More white man come from Icebergs. In house. There.
Do you think it could be? It's impossible.
Lady, white lady come. Fly in air like bird. Eskimo go in kayak.
Oh, never mind all that. Show us where they are.
I show.
Glad to see you got off the wreck, Bosun. I thought I picked up everybody that was alive. How did you do it?
It's a long, cold story, Captain.
Who's that?
Jim Hudson.
Anybody else get off with you?
Yeah, Dr. Miller. He's in the cabin next door with his daughter.
Who?
His daughter. She came by on a plane and picked us up off the berg. Want to speak to him?
No, let it go until morning. You'd better get some sleep.
Aye, sir.
Where do I sleep, Chief? I'd like to get some shut-eye.
If we had not lost Dr. Miller's notes, it would have been different. But now that we found him alive, he must be kept alive.
And the others?
We will have to dispose of them. Distasteful but necessary.
What are you so touchy about? That's my department, ain't it? What's worrying me is this time it won't seem so accidental.
We must impress the chief with the fact that his tribe will be blamed if the white authorities ever find out.
Well, I'd better get to work.
Just a moment, Captain. First, my disguise.
Forget it. They'll all be dead by morning except Doc, and we're taking him with us.
You said that once before, and they're still alive. It's better if they continue to think that I am dead.
You mastermind sure ain't taking any chances, are you? Sit down. I'll fix you up. What do you want?
Oh, I couldn't sleep, Captain. I've been worrying about how we're all going to get out of here. Figure we might as well talk it over now.
Sure. A couple of things bothering me about you.
How do you mean that?
Just how much do you know about Jim Hudson and Doc Miller?
A couple of nice guys, as far as I know. What are you getting at, Captain?
They're murderers. They killed Dan and tossed his body overboard.
Are you sure?
I'm telling you, ain't I? They're a bunch of criminals, and I'm seeing to it that they're brought to justice. What I want to know is, whose side are you on?
I only have one choice. That's the side of law and order.
Now you're talking, Bucko.
What are your plans?
Well, I'll handle the doctor. He'll take care of the girl.
Who are you?
Oh, he's just one of the boys. Got badly burned down in the engine room. Now, can you handle Jim Hudson yourself?
Oh, sure.
Well, now this is what you do. He's a desperate criminal. And if things go wrong, and he puts up a fight...
What's the idea?
Tell me one thing and tell me the truth. What do you know about the Dunn murder?
Murder? Done? Well, I don't know anything about it, and you know it.
Captain Greeter arrived a little while ago with one of the crew. They say that you and the doc are criminals. We've been through a lot together, and I have my doubts.
Why should Greeter want to accuse us?
Does it have anything to do with a box about that high and that long with the doc's name on it?
The Paratron.
What?
Never mind now. Where's Greeter?
He's in his hut. He's going to grab the doc as soon as I tell him I put you away.
This'll take care of him.
Better tie him up. Yeah, it's the Paratron, all right.
Hey, what is that thing?
It's a secret invention of Dr. Miller's. You don't know it, Bosun, but you did your country a great service when you didn't slit my throat.
I figured you were the right kind of a guy. And I figured that skunk on the floor there was not but law and order.
Keep an eye on it.
Ah, well. Hey, that's pretty heavy, isn't it?
No. I'm warmed up now.
Yeah, no fooling. Say, where did you learn all those fancy tricks, huh?
Oh, from the commando.
Commandos, huh? Yeah, rat.
You know, the way I figure it, some higher-ups tipped Greeter off over that shortwave radio about the Paratron after we came on board, and they were trying to get rid of us.
It's in perfect condition. And you think Greeter and his men are in the pay of someone higher up?
I'm sure of it.
Well, what do you intend doing with the prisoners?
Oh, the chief will keep them here till I can send the marshal up from Bankhead to bring them in.
I'd give a great deal to know who the ringleaders are.
So would I. We'll find out, though. We won't stop till we do.
Well, how will you arrange for us to leave here?
Oh, the bosun and I'll go by dog sled. You and the doctor can take the Paratron with you on the plane. Now, we'll meet in Bankhead, and I'll arrange transportation from there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got to get an early start, so we better get some sleep.
That's a bright idea, Jim.
Good night, Jim.
Good night.
Come along, honey.
That's right. Gun sight mine.
Gun sight mine. Bill Hudson speaking.
Hiya, Pop. This is Jim. I'm at Bankhead.
Oh, I might have known they couldn't drown you, Jim. Gee, it's good to hear you. Is Doc Miller all right? When are you going to get up here?
Doc Miller and Ruth are right here with me, and we're coming up as soon as we can get transportation.
Well, why don't you call Brock? He can fix anything.
I'll call Brock right away. Goodbye, Pop. Be seeing you. Get me Mr. Brock in Saskatch. That's right.
Mr. Jim Hudson is on long distance. Do you wish to speak to him, Mr. Brock?
Jim Hudson, you bet I do. Hello? Jim, my boy. Well, this is a surprise. It's great to know you're still alive after that tragic shipwreck. Was anyone else saved?
Oh, yes. Dr. Miller, the ship's captain, 3 members of the crew. By the way, Captain Greeter and a pal of his turned out to be would-be murderers.
Why, that's terrible. Certainly, I'll have the marshal go right out to that village and place him under arrest. Where are you now?
Well, that's what I called you about. I'm at Bankhead trying to get home. I was wondering if you could arrange to put me and a party of 3 aboard that evening transport plane out of here.
Why, I think so. Have you much baggage? I see. Just 2 large wooden cases, huh? Well, I'll arrange it. Not at all, my boy. So long. HB to Brandon. Come in, Brandon.
Brandon. Go ahead, HB.
One of my men will leave transport plane number 3 at point M54. Pick him up and take him to your headquarters. Got that?
Check.
Make it good.
You were lucky to get transportation like this with such short notice.
No trouble at all. This Mr. Brock's a good friend of Dad's and a big shot up here, too. He just about runs things up in this part of the country.
Hold it, everybody. Don't anyone turn around. Put your hands behind your heads. Everybody. Hudson, bring me that case you're guarding so carefully.
Sounded like a shot, didn't it? Sure did. Better take over. I'll go have a look.
here. Help will take care of it. Flight 3 to airport. Come in, Saskatchewan Airport. Hello, airport. Okay to land? We're coming in. Stand by with crash wagon and doctor. We've 2 wounded men aboard.
Again. Now, the one of them was seriously injured.
Why? Hello, Hudson.
Hello, Mac.
What happened?
Ask Miss Miller. I've got some checking up to do.
Sure, go ahead.
Brock talking. Go ahead, Galtman.
We put Kruger on the transport without any trouble. He'll get Miller's invention and bail out as ordered.
Right. I've notified Brandon to pick him up.
I'd like to see Mr. Brock.
He's busy just now. Would you care to wait?
Yes, I'll wait.
Name, please.
Jim Hudson.
Oh, Mr. Hudson. I'm sure Mr. Brock will want to see you. There's a Mr. Jim Hudson here to see you.
Send him in.
You may go in now.
Thank you. What I can't understand is how the masked man got on that plane.
I can't imagine. I'll have the airlines people make a thorough investigation.
It might lead to something, but I'm sure the crew's in the clear.
Well, what do you suppose the masked man was after?
I have reason to believe it was some valuable apparatus Dr. Miller has with him. But what puzzles me is how the masked man learned of it.
Yes, that is a mystery.
Captain Greeter couldn't have planned it. Even if he escaped from the Eskimo village, he couldn't have gotten through to civilization in time.
No. Oh, by the way, I notified the marshal to go down and arrest Greeter, as you asked.
Oh, fine.
Brock's orders, boys. Act like respectable officers of the law. If the Eskimos give us any trouble, we let them have it.
Well, I guess all we can do for the moment is sit tight. I have a hunch the mystery man will be popping up again.
It's too bad, but war always seems to bring an increase in lawlessness. I've been thinking of calling a meeting to discuss local defense.
Not a bad idea.
Greetings to you, Chief. I'm the Marshal. I've come for the prisoners. Where are they?
That man's in house. I saw. These bad men. Guards go now?
Yeah, I'll get rid of your guards. Hagel, this is swell. When I heard the plane, I thought it was the real Marshal. Brock's too smart to let that happen. This is Dr. House?
Yeah.
Greeter, you're to keep under cover. I'll drop you off in Bankhead. And you'd better put these on.
How are you feeling these days? No ill effects from your wounds?
Oh, a few aches and pains now and then when it rains. Like an old man with rheumatism.
Well, give my regards to your father.
Thanks, I'll do that. We're going up the mine the first thing in the morning. Goodbye, sir.
Goodbye and good luck.
son. I'm glad to see you.
Hello,
Doc.
Phil, how are you?
Well, don't tell me this is Ruth.
This is Ruth.
Oh, Pop, I want you to meet a pal of mine, Mr. Higgins. Just call him Bosun. He's a handy little man to have around, too.
Well, besides him, I agree with you. You like to fight?
No, I don't like to fight. That's why I like to get it over with in a hurry.
Come on inside. Give me the lowdown.
I stopped in town long enough to thank Mr. Brock, then we came on up here. That's about all there is to it.
About all. Well, it's not exactly what I'd call a dull trip. It burns me up, that's what it does.
What does, Mr. Hudson?
Well, thanks, Larry, Mr. All the fun. Makes my story about hijackers sound kind of sick.
Hijackers? You been having trouble, Bill?
Oh, a little the past few days. Lost a couple of loads of pay dirt.
That's kind of funny. You've never had any trouble like that before, have you, Pop? No. I wonder if that could tie in with the people who've been after you, Doc. Is it possible they already know about this ore you came up here to experiment with?
It's possible. Though I, for one, don't intend wasting time in idle speculation. What I want is a look at that energized quartz you have around here, Bill.
Oh, come on. I'll show it to you right now.
All right.
All right. That's exactly where old Grit found the quartz. He says there's a whole pocket of the stuff. Jim, put off that light and watch it glow.
Whoa. Well, that's amazing.
Oh, here's Grit now. Folks, this is Grit Hartman.
How are you, Grit?
Hello, Grit.
Hi, folks.
Bosun Grit.
Hello. How are you?
Grit's the one who discovered the quartz.
Oh.
He'll tell you all about it.
Yeah, and then I do. Watch out, Doc. Don't touch that stuff. It'll knock you for a loop. That's the way I found it. I was in here digging for pay dirt one day, and all of a sudden my pick struck something and it knocked me clean across this tunnel for 20 feet. I landed right about over there. Are you hurt? Huh? Oh, as I was saying, I landed just about right here.
Hey, look at this pick. It melted the end right off.
Well, that is really amazing.
Whoa, Doc!
Stop that way! It'll kick you the same as it did me. If you have a go at it a little bit at a time, it will kick your ears better. Here, I'll show you. Hey! See what I mean? Here, Doc. Use my glove. Thank you. I can feel the heat. Has a sensation like an electric current.
What's the verdict, Doc?
I don't know. It doesn't come under any of the known classifications.
Well, then it's a discovery.
Absolutely.
Well, what about the Paratron? Do you think it'll make it work?
I have a feeling it may. Well, the only way to find out is to try. I'm certain the quartz contains a mineral form of energy that is akin to radium. It throws off a strong atomic energy that's in no way gaseous. More, you might see like a power wave. All right. Jim, would you please hold the receiver? And stand over there. Now, the rest of you stand back. Yes, it's there. With enough of this energized quartz, perhaps in concentrated form,
We may be able to send it for miles. Bill, do you think you could start mining this for me right away?
Why not?
I may need tons of it. Who knows what energy a ton may contain if concentrated into a pound? This may be the basic secret of atomic energy.
If it were not for this lack of energy, the Peloton would work successfully.
Then you feel that with the mineral they've discovered at the Hudson mine, the doctor may have an answer to his problem?
Yes, that's my opinion. For that reason, and because Dr. Miller is the only person who knows the real secret, I insist that he must be kept alive. At least until he completes the experiment.
Maybe you're right. Perhaps we'd better let old Bill Hudson alone for a while, throw them off the scent.
Yes, I think it would be much wiser.
Well, I'll get in touch with Brandon, call him off.
And what is supposed to have happened to me?
You're supposed to be dead. You better lie low for a while.
Point C2 receiving.
Brandon?
No, this is Kurtz.
Let me speak to Brandon.
He's not here.
Our man at the Hudson Mines tipped us off there were 2 truckloads of that pay dirt coming down, so Brandon went out to get it.
Who gave him the orders?
You did, boss. And Brandon thought there might be some of that high-voltage rock on them trucks.
That was last week, you idiot. Now you get out and stop Brandon before he reaches the trucks.
Too late, boss. They're due to be coming down now.
Good luck to you, Jim. Get it through.
Don't worry, Pop, we will.
And you see to it that he doesn't take any chances.
You know me, miss. I hate trouble.
That's good, men. I'll get out of sight. This is it, Bolton. Well, you're going to stop, aren't you? No. That is a foul, your rudder?
Yeah, something's wrong.